Greetings from Lowe's Sapphire Falls Resort here at Universal Orlando. We are heading tonight to the first ever premium Scream Night. Now, Halloween Horror Nights for this year doesn't officially start until tomorrow night, Friday night, but it is Thursday, and we are heading to the event because this premium Scream Night is a special preview. It is not included with frequent Fear Pass or a regular admission. It is a separately ticketed event. Now, it costs $350, which is a lot of extra stuff, but you do get all you can eat. Supposedly, Halloween Horror Nights specialty food and regular restaurants will be open as well, and drinks, non-alcoholic drinks are included. Very low capacity, supposedly, we'll see, and then you get to pull through the houses. Normally, Halloween Horror Nights sends you with everyone else just in a long line, but that is not the case tonight, and so we'll see if all those things are true or if they are as good as they seem to be. Hopefully so, because again, the price tag is very steep, but that will be something that we figure out tonight, because again, it's the first time ever. But anyway, we're gonna head on over there. I'll probably tell you my thoughts throughout the event, and then at the very end, I'll recap what I ended up thinking of the event as a whole, and if I would pay the $350 again next year if they offer it again. And so anyway, enough talking. Let's head on over to Halloween Horror Nights 33. Now this year, all of the Universal Orlando hotels have some kind of photo op for Halloween Horror Nights, and this is Sapphire Falls. Sapphire Falls kind of decorated the back half of the lobby to be Halloween themed, and this is super fun. One interesting thing to note is there is no stay and scream for tonight's event. There will be for the rest of the event, but once the park closes at 5, we'll have to exit and come wait outside the gates, and then the gates will open at 6:30, and the event will be open until 2 a.m. So here in the studio store up at the front of the park, there is a new Halloween Horror Nights display photo op, along with all of the new merchandise available here at the front of the park. So inside the tribute store is a poster that they have for sale. A different version of it actually came with the customizable part of the tribute store this year, where you put your face inside the tribute store. This one's actually in 3D. It's $20. No discounts can be applied. And it comes with these 3D glasses, because it's a 3D poster. It's 24 by 36. But the cool thing is, one of the houses this year has a scene that is enhanced with 3D. And so you can use these red and blue glasses in that haunted house. And that haunted house is Slaughter Cinema 2, by the way. I learned that on my Behind the Screams tour. And so I'm going to keep these glasses with me, put the poster away, and I'll use that for that scene in Slaughter Cinema 2 and let you know how they work, because that is a good trick. I mean, you can always buy red and blue glasses online, but if you want the poster anyway, they do come with it, and so that'll come in handy for the event itself. Just in time for Halloween Horror Nights, it is starting to rain. That is a tradition. But anyway, here is this year's Coke Freestyle Cup, which you can use at any of the Coke Freestyle machines throughout the park. It is $18.99, and you can use pass holder discounts on it. Lots of clouds overhead. We're about an hour out from the start of the event. It's 5:30. They did mention inside the gate earlier. I talked to an employee that said they may open early tonight, so I'm gonna get in line here in a second, expecting somewhere between 6 and 6:30, but the line's not too bad yet, and so hopefully this rain goes away, doesn't last long, and definitely isn't as strong as previous year's opening night. And we are heading inside. And we are officially in for Premium Scream Night.
So many apple bodies waiting to be crushed under the fear and pain. You know not what you step into, but you're so in love.
So on the way in, they gave out this Premium Scream Night lanyard. On the front is this design with the two icons, Sinister and Surreal, which are actually up on the Halloween Horror Nights sign. And then on the back, you just scan for food and beverage information, which I'm pretty sure is just the menu. Then they gave out these Halloween Horror Nights lanyards as well, heading into the Hollywood Scare Zone. start in the back of the park. Start over at Fast and Furious at Major Sweets Candy Company. I don't remember what that's actually called, but that's the one that it is. And so I'm gonna head over to that first, then probably do some of the tent houses. And so I think that's the plan for now. Over here in front of Transformers is an area with some of the original characters from this year's events from throughout the houses and scare zones on little platforms that you can get pictures with and pictures of. Man, I know it just started, but these crowd levels are wildly low, and it's incredible so far. We'll see how it goes. I have heard that team members expect the longest wait tonight to be 15 minutes, and so if that's true, that's really great. So in previous years, the houses at Fast and Furious Supercharged entered over to the left of the attraction, but actually you're entering where you used to exit, and so I think the house layout's gonna be pretty different this year, so I'm excited to see that. But we are heading in right now to Major Sweets Candy Factory. There's the tent right there. I've seen like literally nobody in front of me, so yeah. Major Sweets Candy Factory exits into the Blumhouse Scare Zone. You see Megan over there, and then some various characters from all the different Blumhouse films. Right outside the Blum Zone is a Wolfman photo op for a new movie coming out from Blumhouse in January. This is insane how empty this place is. I know they opened early, but I have a feeling the people that come to this event are going to show up early, and so this is crazy so far. We got through that first house. We literally just walked right in. So first house of the night was Major Sweets Candy Factory. It was everything that I was hoping it would be. It was disgusting. It was fun. There were some good scares in there. I got every single scare actor, I think. I was also the only one in the house at that moment in time, which was pretty awesome for sure. And so hopefully there will be stuff like that throughout the evening. House number one, really great. I can't wait to hopefully get to do it another time or two tonight, and then throughout the season. Also, it still is light outside, so these houses are, at least for me, have always been different when it's still light outside. Like once it gets dark, your eyes adjust and you can see more details and stuff. But that first house was a big win. The layout of the tent was really great this time. There was no like awkward pause in the middle as you transition from inside the Fast and Furious building to the tent. So I think that was a huge win. I'm glad to listen to feedback on that. The entrance for both Universal Monsters and Goblins Feast is through the same exact area, right next to Men in Black. You do have to make that really long walk, but you can go, once you exit one of the houses, you can get right in line for the other one, and so that's a major plus. And so we're gonna head in to do both of those. So one thing interesting to note is that Goblins Feast and Universal Monsters are both in brand new tents. The two brand new tents were built for this year because they can no longer use the parade buildings for Halloween Horror Nights, and so these are both brand new venues, and I'm excited to see how they're used. So yeah, the two tents are right next to each other, and the entrances are at the same place, and then basically exit from over here, and then if you want you can come back around and go to the other house. This feels a lot like Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood in a good way, where it's so easy to get between the two houses. Like the walk back and forth would have been brutal, and so I'm glad they did this, and I hope it works out in a good way. Just walked right into Goblins Feast. Next up is Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. This is the first little line we've encountered, and it's only really because they're pulsing people through. And so I don't know what the set time is, but they're waiting a set amount of time before sending each group in. So you actually exit these two houses the same way you came in, which will be interesting to see how that works with more people in the park. I don't know if, I'm assuming it's gonna be like that tomorrow and beyond. We'll see then, but it seems like less walking than normal, which is great. So I'm 3 houses in. I did Candy Factory, the Major Sweets Candy Factory, the Universal Monsters, and Goblins Feast. So far my favorite one would definitely be Universal Monsters. which was better than I was expecting. I definitely missed some scares in it, a lot of them I think, because I was kind of pulsed through, but with a different group, because it's just me. That'll be interesting to see if they do that everywhere tonight. But yeah, I was pulled through with a small group, and I went a little slower to see if I could get some of the scares, and I think I missed some of them. But regardless, the scares I did get were really good. The sets were really good, and it's definitely on par with the rest of the Universal Monster houses from over the years. Goblin's Feast was also really, really good. My eyes didn't adjust to that one quick enough, I don't feel like, so I think I missed a lot of the details. But that was kind of it felt like a melding of what made some of the original houses over the last few years, like Wicked Growth and what else? Last year there was Goblin's Feast. Felt like what made some of the last few years' best houses so great, all put together. It kind of felt a little bit to me like the Pumpkin Lord house, Wicked Growth, and it was really great. I can't wait to do that one again later tonight. I'm going to do all of them at least twice tonight, probably, especially at this rate we're going. We've been here 30 minutes and I've been through 3. About to head over to Slaughter Cinema 2 and the museum Deadly Exhibits, both of which I've already been inside during the day with lights on, so I've been really excited to see these with lights off. There's so much detail in these houses, and I'm excited to see how they bring it to life with show lighting and scares and all that stuff. I do have my 3D glasses, as I said earlier, for Slaughter Cinema 2. I'll let you know how that effect is. Also, I grabbed a drink from the Freestyle, Coca-Cola Freestyle building over there. They're just having you grab drinks and get them. So that's a great thing. Food and drink are free this event. So let's head on into Slaughter Cinema 2. Only one house enters right here this year, Slaughter Cinema 2. And then I believe museum enters over there at The Simpsons. So I'm pretty sure when it gets dark there'll be movies projected on, or trailers and movies projected on that screen right there. But these cars weren't here when I was here for the tour. But yeah, the line's super long, so we're gonna head right in. So the museum enters right across from Twirl and Hurl, and then you go straight back to the tent. It's where there's been tents before. It's just a different entrance than normal. I think this will be good because it's a covered queue with fans and all. This is one of the ones I got to see on the 3 house tour a couple weeks back, and so I've been looking forward to seeing this in action as well. But we're just about to head in.
Horrific stories for centuries. It is believed to be the cause of failed crops and plagues. Its reputation grew when it was moved up. The rotting stone from Western Europe has hundreds of years. The rotting stone has been the center of horrific stories for centuries.
So right over here is the Triplets of Terror food truck. But I think we're going to try the walking taco from Slaughter Cinema 2 over here by Animal Actors, because I've heard it's very good. And so, again, all this food is included. And so anything that I don't know that I would like, I'm definitely going to probably try tonight and see if I like it, if I don't really lose anything by trying it. So DreamWorks Land is not being used whatsoever for an entrance exit of any haunted houses this year. However, the Imagination Cafe is home to pizza fries and probably Louis as well, but we're going to grab some pizza fries because those are also free tonight. All right, first 2 food items of the night, the walking taco, and then the pizza fries fresh out of the oven. So I don't think I ever said my thoughts on Slaughter Cinema or the museum. Slaughter Cinema 2 was awesome. There were some really cool sequences. My favorite being, I'll just say the words Santa, and there was sharks and 3D. Those are my 3 favorite rooms in the house for sure. The shark moment, hopefully you'll be able to catch it. I mean, not everyone will be able to. Spoiler alert, there's a giant shark in the house, and it is an awesome puppet. And so definitely make sure to check those out. The museum, the exhibit, is it feels a lot like the night of the museum in a good way. And you know, it's not a super long house, but it does have some good scares. There are a lot of scare actors in that one. I think probably it felt like more than some of the other ones so far. I wouldn't say it's necessarily super scary, but there's a lot going on, and the sets are pretty good, and it just feels like an old museum. Or I mean, it's a museum that's supposed to open, but you know. And so those 2 are really good. 5 houses down. We're gonna head to the front of the park and do some of the ones up there. All 3 of the IP houses are up front, and so far it's all been originals, and they've all been really great. And I'm really having a great time at this event so far. Food I just had was really good. The walking taco was fantastic. I've never had one of those before. Pizza fries are a classic, and so those 2 were a win. probably the most iconic food item from Halloween Horror Nights this year. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man s'mores with the giant marshmallow man and, you know, chocolate and graham crackers like a normal s'more. Been excited to have this though, and so just got it. This line is for fish and chips from this museum stand. It's like the longest food line I've seen so far, but moving pretty quick. Just waited about 15 minutes for what seems to be the most popular food item tonight, fish and chips from the booth over by Jimmy Fallon. Haven't seen this projection yet. Now that it's dark, you can see though of the tribute store entrance. So I think that enhances it a good bit because it felt a little lacking, but that helps a good bit at least at night, which is when the tribute store really will shine for this event. So right next to the tribute store is Triplets of Terror and Insidious the Further. I think we're gonna go to Triplets of Terror first and then probably do Insidious right after. So over there is the line for Insidious the Further. The empty line way back there is for Ghostbusters. This is for Triplets of Terror. Next up is Insidious the Further. 15-minute wait, but when I passed it, it looked like much less. Next up is one of my two most anticipated houses for this year, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Ghostbusters is the house that goes through Jimmy Fallon's building. I've always joked about there being a Jimmy Fallon haunted house, but there actually is going to be one in New York, made by the people that make Halloween Horror Nights here in Orlando and Hollywood. So I just finished Insidious the Further, which is the most tense house of the year, at least so far. Really enjoyed that one. Definitely don't start with that one if you're scared of these kind of things. It's a good one to go into later in the night. Triplets of Terror was fine. I think it has a lot of potential later in the season, but it feels very repetitive how it is right now. I mean, I don't know if you can change the repetitiveness, but I think I missed some scares. You did get wet and it did snow in that house. And it was okay, it wasn't bad, but it was just alright. This one's a full-on walk-in, which is shocking because this is like the biggest IP here this year, in my opinion. But this is my most anticipated one, along with A Quiet Place, and so gonna do those two back to back, and I'll let you know how those live up, if those live up to my expectations. The Ghostbusters Frozen Empire house is my favorite one so far. That was awesome. The scale of it was perfect. The sets were awesome. The scares were actually really good for what I was expecting to be a fun house. It was a fun house. It was very faithful to the recent Frozen Empire movie. Slimer was in it. No Marshmallow Man that I saw, but you know, all the characters from the new movie were in it with Slimer also. The creatures were really good. There were some really good puppets in there. That was a 10 out of 10 house for me. My favorite so far of the night, I'm pretty sure. And it'll only get better as the season goes on. And so I'm definitely gonna do that one at least a couple more times tonight. It looks like A Quiet Place has, I walked by it on the way out of that house. Looks like it had a little bit longer of a line than it has the rest of the night. And so I'm gonna actually go do the Monsters of Latin America first, and then I'll do that one. And then I'll repeat probably everything, or at least a good portion of it. But yeah, that one was definitely 2 thumbs up from me. Best house so far of the event. Walking into Monstros, the Monsters of Latin America right now. I did this house in Hollywood last year. I thought it was fine. I mean, I thought it was pretty good there, but it is very well regarded from last year, and so I'm interested to see how it compares to the one in Hollywood here. I'm assuming it'll be very similar, just on a grander scale. But yeah, I'll let you know what I think. This one isn't new for me. This is a repeat. They did copy it from Hollywood. It's not like a sequel, like Hollywood is doing a sequel this year. But here, this is just a copy of Hollywood's house from last year. And so this is the last original of the night, and then the last one we have to do is A Quiet Place, and then I can do whatever I want. I can repeat as much as I want, because it's only 9:30 right now, so we still have quite a while. Heading into A Quiet Place, the 10th house of the night. This has been, along with Ghostbusters, one of my most anticipated houses. I think they have an opportunity to do something really cool with this one, so let's see. Just got out of A Quiet Place, and that was really solid. That was a good one. There was a lot of quiet, at least this run through of it. I mean, hopefully that can be maintained with the large crowds of people going through. But that was definitely a really good one to be pulsed through for sure. I'm really glad I got to do that. I have to go through everything a little more before I can rank them. I think that I will be doing a podcast episode probably from my hotel room before tomorrow night's event, ranking everything and sharing my thoughts. There's still about 4 or 5 hours left of the event tonight, and so I'm just gonna keep going, keep doing houses. I'll check back in later on the vlog. I mean, if I see anything new that I haven't shown yet, probably a couple of the scare zones, and then maybe the Death Eaters if I make it over there. But I'm gonna keep doing houses. I might do a ride or two. If I do another food item, I'll let you know. But I'm gonna put my camera away mostly because I can't even show inside of the houses. So I'll check back in. If not before, then at the end.
We've been dying, but it looks like yours is over. Go, enjoy the fair and the festivities. But wait for one example. My wonderful execution. Display this fortress construction in my honor. Forged with unforgiving steel, unbreakable veins, rip the face, tear the flesh from bone. Step higher. We shall be. You all have an important choice to make here. Are you the quarter or the quarterer? We all have. Yes? You come here for a reason. Now prove your worth as a quarter. Don't miss out on anything you see. But what I see when you will experience your soul.
It is 1:58 a.m. and we're heading into our final house of the night, our 27th house run and our 5th run through Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Complete walk-in. Let's do this. And just like that, Premium Scream Night has come to an end. It is 2:05 in the morning. So it was a long night, but a ton of fun. And so we'll talk more about it in a second, but we're heading out of the park now, sadly. But we'll be back tomorrow night. That'll do it for us for tonight from Halloween Horror Nights Premium Scream Night. I am very green right now, but that is the lighting up here, so that's what we're working with. Awesome event, very much worth the $350. I said at the beginning I would tell you if it was worth it or not. 100% worth it. I would do it again every year if they will do it. I hope they'll do it. I mean, I don't know what capacity they were hoping to sell out at, but I heard that there was about 3,000 people in the park tonight. And every house was a walk-in. The longest I waited was 5 minutes, and that's only because they were pulsing people through. If they hadn't pulsed people through, then literally you would have never stopped moving the whole night. But I loved the pulsing portion of that. That was a huge win. And the no lines was awesome. The free food was awesome. I got to try all the things that I wanted to try this season. Some on camera, some off camera. I got to do all the houses multiple times. Every single one I did twice. Several of them I did 3 times. A couple I did 4, I think. But I know that Ghostbusters Frozen Empire I did 5 times, and that was me taking advantage of knowing that that house will never have below an hour, 2-hour wait, unless it's like 2 in the morning or it's like November dates, which I'm hoping the November dates are kind of similar to this like they were last year. But anyway, this event was awesome. I'll definitely talk more about it on the Relive the Magic podcast in the weeks ahead, or even I'm probably going to try to get one out from the hotel room tomorrow. And so if that happens, you'll probably see it on the channel. If not, though, we'll be back tomorrow night for opening night. We'll see what all we can get done. This year I don't have a frequent fear with Express. I just had the regular frequent fear plus because it sold out within about an hour or 2, and I didn't expect that. So unfortunately I'll be going with no Express, but this event was a great way to make up for that. And so if they do this event again next year, I'll pay whatever I have to, and I would recommend you make it a priority to be at this event next time. Thanks so much for watching, and have a magical day.